I am so glad you came to see me. You know, family and charitable gifting are two of the most effective strategies in estate planning today.
Ed, before we go very much further, would you please explain just exactly how giving away money is going to save us money?
You know what? I share this concept with a lot of clients, and quite frankly, that is their greatest fear. That's why we use computer modeling, that not only coordinates your estate and gift planning, but also makes sure, based on your own assumptions, that you have the cash flow you want for retirement, including substantial reserves.
All right.
Next, certain forms of charitable gifting can also produce substantial savings.
In what way?
Well, there are three possible beneficiaries of your estate: your family, charity, and the IRS. You have to pick at least two.
That's easy. Let's leave the IRS as little as possible.
I agree, but how can we do it?
Well, there's various approaches that we can look at, and all of them can be done in such a way that charity benefits, your kids benefit, and the IRS is left out.
Ed, I just don't understand. Is this some kind of a loophole that'll be closed down? I mean, why does the IRS go along with this?
Well, believe it or not, they have to. See, Congress has built several incentives into the tax laws to encourage us to make charitable gifts. And they were probably right to do so, because charities are inherently more efficient than the government when it comes to spending your money.
So we should take advantage of this if we can.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do we know if this is going to work for us?
We'll test all the approaches as part of our evaluation. Now, we call this comfort zone testing because our goal is to keep you within your financial comfort zone, keep the IRS in check, and produce favorable results for your kids and the charities you love.
How about some details, Ed?
Here's how the analysis works. In phase one, we take a look at how much cash flow you think you'll want in order to maintain the lifestyle you both want, including a factor for inflation. Hey, I know that sounds pretty basic. You would be amazed at how many estate plans ignore this phase entirely.
So you're saying if we don't do this first, we won't have any idea if our estate can provide all the money we'll need for our retirement, let alone support any gifts to the children, to charities, or to anyone else.
That's it exactly.
Ed, I have a related question.
Please.
It's about our IRA. There's quite a bit there now, and we can't decide whether to take it out fast or leave as much as possible in there and let it grow.
That's also part of our computer model. We'll test it both ways for you, and then you can decide.
Both ways. This is making good sense, Ed. What's next?
All right, in phase two, we run all the calculations over again, but this time we use different levels of gifts. Now, like phase one, we base all our calculations on your assumptions. And in phase two, we take a look at how much you can comfortably give away and still have the money you want to live on. And we also make sure to include a solid reserve.
That's our comfort zone, right?
Right. And we also aim for significant estate tax reductions.
Ed, how much can the IRS take before the kids get it?
Up to 60% in some cases. And with tax-deferred assets like your IRA, they could take over 70%.
Oh, come on.
However, if we blend charitable gifting and family gifting in just the right mix, stir in some life insurance, you can leave your kids an amount equal to your current IRA, have access to your IRA throughout your lifetime, and leave what's left of your IRA to the charity of your choice. And if you set it up just right, the IRS gets none of what goes to your kids or charity.
That's great. But it sounds really complex.
Well, it's not as complex as you might think. Basically, it's just blending some life insurance, a trust, and making sure that the final IRA beneficiary is a charity. And of course, nothing ever takes place without the close supervision of your tax and legal advisors.
Well, it sounds like if we can possibly afford it, these gifts really make sense. So what's next?
Well, let me summarize where we are. In phase one, we took you through a financial checkup. With phase two, we determined a level of gifting that keeps you comfortable. And now we're up to phase three. Here, we take those gifts and you decide where best to put them. Should they be in trust? How should they be invested? Does involving a charity make sense? Does life insurance have a place? And so on.
Life insurance. You've mentioned that several times. Is it really useful?
Yes, because sometimes it just does the best job. The point is, you don't really know what's the best strategy for you until you test each one and compare them. That's why we use computer modeling, so that we can calculate and then compare each alternative.
This really makes sense.
Yes. Plan for us and a plan for the kids.
And the grandkids, too?
Good idea.
Precisely. You know, I can't wait for you to see these numbers. Even though we've run these evaluations over and over, I am constantly amazed at the logic of the results.